now, let me see if I can uh, get everybody back here and prepare to welcome Alvaro Sanchez, who is going to be our next speaker. By the way, if you have questions for Sierra or Alvaro, as a reminder, just put them in chat and we will be monitoring the chat so that you'll get a chance to answer to ask your questions in person or talk about the question. Okay, Alvaro's a very, very patient young man. He's a self-taught, this is from his webpage, self-taught graphic artist based in Guatemala City, red wine drinker, macchiato coffee addict, compulsive buyer of books and CDs, cinema and music junkie. He is a regular contributor for online and print art and design magazines from around the world, truly around the world, and has published the book Mañana Muerta de Domingo. Most of his works are inspired by literature, painting, music, and cinema, but his main inspiration is Guatemala City and its streets. Alvaro's list of exhibitions is truly worldwide, spanning America, Asia, and Europe. Magazine publications cover even more countries, extending to Australia and North Africa. And he listed all of the countries that he's shown in, and it was just too long a list. We'd have to cut into his speaking time if I read them all out. We're indeed fortunate to welcome Alvaro as our esteemed speaker today. So let me first spotlight you.
Thank you, Barbara.
And then I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
And give Alvaro a chance to speak.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, hello everybody. It's really an honor for me sharing with you this little chat with everybody, especially with people so passionate about collage. That I really love that because I mean, as you, collage it has been for many years for me a really something special. To tell you a little bit about me, I started to making art, or at least try to make art, like maybe 20 years ago. But I didn't have like a formal training. I mean, I never went to art school or something. When I went to college, I was studying communication and advertising. So that's pretty much how I started, because when I was really young, when I started working as a junior graphic designer in advertising here. But actually that gave me a lot of chance to be in touch with a lot of really creative people, really talented people. So they, in a really strange way, they were like my teachers. And I was lucky enough to work for huge advertising corporations here in my country, and I got a chance to get a lot of information that and that definitely I never gonna have that in college, because college was for me just kind of a basic thing, and not it wasn't the same experience I was getting at the advertising in my job. So I started developing my, let's say, my art uh, by digital medium, because I never thought to go and study art, because there's a lot of art academies here in Guatemala, but the main school is very limited. Like, you don't get like an easy chance to get in, and so I totally discarded. And then I start using the computer, because it's the only like tool I had in that time. So that's how I started. I since like I'm saying, since I never went to school, I started getting my ideas from in that time, especially from music. I mean, I love music, even if I don't play any instrument, but I love to listen a lot of music. And back in those days, I was really huge influenced by the covers. I'm really into rock and roll music, so I really enjoy watching when I remember buying the records or cassettes or CDs, enjoying like watching all the artwork, the layouts, the design, the typography and everything. So that started to making like a base for me, so a place to start. So then I just start to experiment in the computer. It took me, I mean, many years to finally do something with my hands, like analog stuff. um, and that's when I bump into collage. I mean, I cannot remember very well how I get into collage, because I don't. I think it just came like naturally, like a random thing, and I just love it immediately. Um, I love the playfulness of collage, and when I really I start to dig in collage. Of course, I went into Dadaism, Surrealism, and all those artists who start with collage, and that's when I knew, okay, this is what I want to do, and I start to incorporate graphic design elements into it, but then I just took out the graphic design influence and just start to going like in a, let's say, in a non-mind state. So this is the part in the presentation of the digital works, but these are new. I mean, the little story behind these pieces is I made those pieces last year, when here in Guatemala we were in a total lockdown and everything was closed. So I was running out of paper, uh, like painting and everything, and you just can't stop creating, right? You need to work every day. So that's when I decided to back to the digital stuff, and but with a kind of a handmade feel. And the way I work is I really love vintage stuff. I enjoy going here in Guatemala to flea markets and discover old books and everything, because there's a lot of textures, a lot of colors that you actually don't see anymore. So I photograph the material, or I scan it, make a scan of it, or whatever medium, to just incorporate in the computer. At the end, the computer is just a tool, right? So and I, of course, acrylic stains like this and ink and everything. So that's this. Since these are recent works, I what I love from this is that they are totally different from what I used to be like. I used to do like, let's say, wow, more than 10 years. And I it's really incredible for me to see the change in the digital work. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do right now, but in the analog work. So it is, sometimes it is more clean. It is just a concept. Since I love the work just go naturally. I don't put so many attention like I did many years ago, trying to, okay, what I'm gonna do, this must have a concept or a message. So I'm kind of in peace with that. So I just let things just go, because since, I mean, I always believe that the more you work, the more the ideas come just really, really, really easy for me. So what I'm doing right now is like, I mean, I think I'm in a perfect state right now in the digital stuff, because I do a lot of collaborations here in the literature area, because as a writer too, I collaborate with a lot of writers here in Guatemala by doing their portraits and book covers, sometimes illustrations, and of course that have had influenced my work in the digital area. So you can see that, of course, I love to use a lot of anatomy references because they're beautiful. The engraving thing, the engraving feeling, they are. I mean, gives to the work an element of I don't know, like a texture or something. And I love to do work with scratches from, like I said, from old papers, and just let's see what's gonna happen. I love it when you don't have any plan, you just go with it, and sometimes for me the results are always better. Like this, I mean, there's a lot of ink there, and what I love in the digital part is that you can really manipulate each element as you like. I mean, let's say what I enjoy of the digital part is that I have total control on it, which I don't have, of course, in the analog stuff. But that's the beauty of every medium. If I want that little stain, let's say like in the chin or in the nose or in the eye, I can put it right there, and until I say, okay, that's what I what I want to. And but that's personal, of course. That's because that's how I see it in my mind. But of course, this, as the analog work has all the influences of what I love in art, since, like I say, Dadaism, Surrealism, Art Brut, outsider art, since, I mean, maybe from 8 or 7 years ago, I was doing a really, really deep search in Art Brut and outsider art, because for me, there is a beauty in when you just let the things go with no academy involved, just like they are like maps from inside a strange mind. And that's the kind of things I like to I love to see when I go to a gallery, when I go to a museum. That's pretty much the stuff I want to see, or I'm being influenced by all these years. Like recently, I'm doing a lot of research in the Cobra movement in Europe, in Amsterdam, and I'm really amazed how that movement influenced the new work I'm doing right now, especially, I mean, even in this digital stuff. So as you can see, there is a lot of, okay, there you go. That's okay. That's the analog stuff. That's the paintings. Been painting a lot, of course, in the lockdown, and these new paintings. I stopped painting like maybe 6 years ago because I was hating the result on the canvas, and I have like a little love and hate relationship with the canvas. But now, after those years, getting back to it, it was like a reconciliation with the canvas. So it's, for me, it's always on the gesture. I mean, I don't looking for a perfect body or a perfect face or a perfect hand. That's not what I like, and that's not what I'm looking for. I mean, and because I don't think I even have the patience to do it. I always believe that every artist should do an art according to your temper, because for me, going to the studio is like going to a ring. I mean, I pretty much get into a fight with the canvas or the paper, because that's how it works for me. I mean, that's when I feel okay. I'm like doing something, and I like violent violent brush strokes, or like using the oil pastel, like in any way. I really don't care. I just it's always look for the final result. So as you can see there, I mean, of course, the pictures doesn't give the work a lot of justice, but there's a lot of texture. I mean, I'm a really into textures because that's what I love to see when you get closer to the work. And you can see that, especially in this, there's a lot of influence that people, of course, like what happening in New York back in the 80s with, I mean, of course, artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat or the abstract expressionist school in the East Coast, right? So those painters were like really, really very important for me. I mean, painters like Cy Twombly. I mean, I love his work. Robert Rauschenberg. I mean, those were let's say those were the teachers I always wanted to be, and I knew that I never gonna get that by going to college, especially here. I mean, like I said, it didn't work for me. So if you want to show more, I think there's more work there. So oh yeah, that's another one. Uh, that's from a series. That one is one of my favorites. Right now, is exhibited in a really cool gallery here in Guatemala. And they when they knew, I mean, when they find out that I was painting again, they asked me for some works, and this is already on a gallery right now. But as you can see, I love to experiment with color, and that's the lesson I learned from watching my niece and my nephew just painting, taking random colors, just didn't care about the result of. But that natural instinct, I look for that. I mean, of course, I'm never gonna get that because now it's impossible. But what I love to do is not into not put so many attentions into, oh, if this red goes along with this brown or this red with this orange. I just go, if it appeals to my eyes, then I say, okay, it's fine, I don't care, let's go. And that's when I say that's when the best results just happen, you know. And especially in paintings like this, I think there is more if you. Oh, that's another one. And okay, that's I really love to do do that painting because I have a painter here, a friend who's a very close friend of mine, and I remember when he told me, when I asked him, man, how is that you do that? And he told me once, I'm a painter by ear. And how is that? And he told me, I just let the painting talks to me. And what happened with this painting, because the shapes, the random brush strokes, just in some point, just the image emerged from the canvas. And that's when I understood him, like, okay, the canvas is talking to me. That's what I want to do. And this strange figure just plop, just pop up. And I started from there, not looking for, like I said, any perfection and other things. I just go. And that's another work I did on the lockdown. And but now I getting back to paper. I work a lot on watercolor paper because I love it. And I doing right now, what I'm doing right now is working on like big formats in collage, and I never did that before. So that's kind of new for me, like a new challenge. So I'm really enjoying that. And that's another one. I see there's a lot of questions. I love it. I'm gonna. Oh, that's okay. That's the work on that. Just kind of not that all works, but that's when you can see what I love to do. Um, Using a lot of medicine books. I always love the kind of eeriness of those books with this medical descriptions and everything. They are so like a huge inspiration for me. And I use in this one like a lot of ink, charcoal, old paper, and I always love that old feel, like that you can see, oh, that you really don't know when this artist made this work. For me, the older it looks, the better. I don't know why is that. It's something I cannot explain. So, but but I know that's the first thing I have on my mind when I work on that. So and these works were really inspired in I remember what reading a lot of Jean Dubuffet work, which I love. I mean, and getting inspired. And I think what I did is like uh, took elements from pretty much my heroes. Like, okay, and trying to figuring out how they do it. Of course, I'm never gonna get the answer to that, but I think I believe that you discover your own language by doing that as a not only as an exercise, but trying to, like I said, trying to find your yourself, right? And then accidents happen, and when sometimes they happen, you say, "Wow, I didn't expect this, but I really love it," and I'm gonna I'll see if I try to replicate it again, and that's how it works for me. Of course, it took me more time. I don't know, but I'm pretty much satisfied with the work, because I love when somebody notice. Oh, I notice like a, let's say, Franz Klein influence there, and you say, and always say, wow, thank you for saying that, because yes, you're right. I mean, or when they mention another artist, it's like at the same time for me, like I'm paying homage for them, right? But of course, don't by not forget, of course, I love that, but I have to find in a way my own style. And and I think it took me many years, I think, to finally like establish a way of saying things. Like I love also play with different mediums, but I let those mediums just come in the proper time, like come naturally to me. I mean, people ask me, for example, why you don't do any sculpture. I love sculpture, but I right now I don't feel like I want to do that, because I just don't feel it. I right now my main thing is to work on still working on paper, because I always say that I want to take collage to the like the ultimate consequence. Like, okay, let's see how you can push collage. Because for me, in a point, the cut and paste thing, it wasn't enough. I mean, I said, okay, that's good, but I need something more. But how I'm gonna do that? And this piece, this is a perfect example for that. I use a lot of oil pastel crayon there. This brand Sennelier, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but I love those crayons because of the creamy texture, and they give me another thing to my work. So I get hooked with those crayons, and I have an addiction for that, to use that, because they are really beautiful, really expensive but beautiful. And that's when I start to discover, okay, that's what I need. I mean, I have to incorporate some other elements rather than just cut the thing and just paste it, because I always wanted to demonstrate people that collage is more than cut and gluing things, because that's the idea. I don't know if that happened in the state, but here in Guatemala there's really few artists, maybe there's one of the old masters here that really famous. He died many years ago, but I remember that he was the only one to incorporate, like in a serious way, collage. Uh, but here in Guatemala, collage is still like nobody is paying attention, and it's pretty much like traditional painting or installation or performance or things like that. And I always want to put collage here in my country on the map, or at least trying to collaborate to, okay, let's make this thing more like big. And that's still my let's say my fight here. And maybe that's a lot of my work it better outside Guatemala, especially on the West Coast. I mean, maybe from what 7 years ago, 8 years ago, San Francisco became for me like my headquarters. And San Francisco has been like a really like amazing city for me to go I mean, as often as I can go, because I discovered a lot of collage artists and mixed media artists there. And when I finally got the chance to meet them, it was like finally I find my tribe, right? So I've been working with them. Is a global art project, and it's funny because I have to go to another country to finally find a mentor there. So and the amazing thing is that I've been really inspired and by a lot of American artists there, and some other countries too. And I can see now the result those of those, I mean, workshops that we had every time I go there. And the sharing process, to share process, that's another thing that doesn't happen here in Guatemala. I mean, here in Guatemala, artists are like, okay, this is my thing, and okay, don't come into my studio. They are kind of reclusive, and I don't know why is that, but that's totally different when I go to the States. So that's why I had the chance to have several shows there, as solo shows and collective shows. And that's something I still doing right now. Well, not right now because of the pandemic, right? But as soon as I can travel again and it's, I mean, safer, I'll definitely I'm heading back to the West Coast and do things. And right now, I have going on in Europe, in Warsaw, a huge exhibition, probably is the biggest one I made to this day, in the Retro Avant-Garde Gallery. Uh, they are so passionate too about collage. I think it's one of the few galleries in Europe that really pay attention to collage and mixed media artists. So the exhibition is going to last, I think, one more month. So because they give me a really nice space there, so it's really amazing for me to from this place, because from this little country that you say, I mean, nothing happens here, but it's the other way. There's a lot of thing in art scene here going on. So everybody here is doing an effort just to put what is happening here in Guatemala, because we have amazing painters, amazing writers here. So you want to do your part. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. What I'm doing right now. I'm working, like I said, on paper and doing a lot of collaborations with some Guatemalan artists here. So I think that pretty much make a like a brief a brief thing to talk all the things I want to say, but I know we have a short time, so I just try to be the brief as possible because there's a lot of questions and I would love to answer.
Hey, let's see if we can now address some of the questions.
Yeah.
Lauren, are you
Yes.
to help?
Yes, absolutely. So, Quaylin asked, I would have thought that graphic design and art are very closely related. So, what were the big things you had to learn when you decided to learn art, even if you were self-taught?
The thing is that yes, I totally get it. I mean, I remember that one of the graphic designers where I used to work, he told me that, I mean, even doing graphic design, you need at least to have a kind of an artistic appreciation. But he told me, but in the way you have to remember that graphic design is not art. And I said, why is that? Because graphic design is kind of regulated by, you know, because somebody else will decide, okay, I like this or I doesn't like that, because at the end you work for a brand. So that's when I decided, okay, I like what I can do with graphic design, but I cannot deal with that, of course, because at the end this is just a job. But that's when I decided to figuring out how I'm going to, okay, how can I turn this into art? And I think that's when that happened, when you realize that you can do with whatever tool you have, you can transform things into art. The main thing for me is that I don't let anybody else telling me what to do, because so then what's the point of do things? So that's when the path, I mean, just go different. I mean, okay, I decided to stay with graphic design, but I knew uh, uh, what to do with it and what don't. And then I just decide, okay, I'm just gonna stick with the art thing, because that's when you get more freedom. And for me, that's the main thing. As long as I have freedom to do things, uh, I'll do it, and that's art and not graphic design. But I'm not saying that I doesn't love graphic design, because I still love it. But I decided that art is gonna be my main thing, right?
Another question we have is, what graphics programs do you use?
Oh yeah, I just I stayed with Adobe Photoshop, of course, and Adobe Illustrator, and that, I mean, since I don't like animation and that kind of thing, because it require a lot of, I mean, to be kind of patient, and I'm not like that. I just do that. I mean, Photoshop, I mean, since I remember, I cannot remember how many years I've been using Photoshop, and I think that's enough. For me, at least, is enough. With those two, I'm all set.
Um, where could I learn to do digital collage is a question.
Right now, there's a lot of. I wish I have the name right now, but I don't know if websites like Domestika and those things those guys have, but in my case, I just learned that was the name of that, because I started doing that back in 1998 with the first Macintosh computers, right? And I remember that from the headquarters in Chicago, because I used to work for Leo Burnett, and they sent us some books with CDs full with images, so you can download those images and make the ads, right? And you have a lot of things there, like from books, from strange figures, whatever. And I just start to putting them together, and that's how figure out that, okay, this is kind of a collage thing, but by in the computer. So I said, okay, this is kind of a digital collage. So then I discovered, like so many, not too many years ago, that there was a huge movement of digital magazines publishing that kind of works. And so that's when I discovered, okay, this is like a real movement. I want to be part of it. And since to this day, I still like getting inspired from those works. But you can find now websites where you can have like online courses to do digital collage, because now finally people, okay, this is like serious.
Thank you. Quaylin, what is the name of the movement you're researching now? I think from the
Oh,
Netherlands.
yeah, cobra, like the snake. That is from Copenhagen, Brussels, and it's the I forgot the other one, Amsterdam. And the movement is back from maybe 50s, 60s. You can find a lot of that in YouTube. But when I discovered Cobra, it was because of this Dutch artist, Karel Appel. I loved his work, and when I discovered it, I saw his work, and I said, I want to do something like that. And then I discovered he was part of this movement, and they were huge in Europe. I don't think they were that known in this side of the world, probably in the States, because there's more chance that you guys know something about them, but not here in Guatemala. I mean, and I get into Cobra so late in my life, but I'm glad I finally did, right?
Now, how do you spell the name of the movement?
It's COBRA, Cobra. I'm gonna,
Cobra. Okay.
yeah, Cobra. I gotta put it
Great.
here.
Thank you.
There you go. Sorry, Melinda. I just type it again. Okay, there you go. Cobra. Yeah. So
Okay.
you should check that out, because it's amazing. And there's some clips in YouTube to watch this guy painting. And when I saw him painting, I said, I want to paint like that. I even it's kind of a performance thing. It's really interesting. I really recommend it.
Next question, Melinda asks, are you a fan of Basquiat?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And Melinda, yes. When I discovered many years ago Basquiat, it was a shock for me in a way that I never seen color like used in that way, and the freedom on the brush strokes and the traces and everything. It never crosses my mind what a lot of people think, that, oh, that my child can do that, or that kind of really. I don't like when people say that, because you have to understand the context of the artist, right? Instead of that, I thought, wow, you can use color like that. You can do charcoal like this. And when I was traveling in Europe back in 2005, I went to Milano in Italy, and lucky me, I got the chance to see to go to a huge Basquiat retrospective, pretty much something like 200 and something paintings. It was like, for me, an eye candy. And that's when I said, okay, how can I do this? Because I I want I want to be part of this. So definitely basket is like it's always a reference for me. I still love his work. I still love what he did. And since then I try to understand what was happening back in the 80s in that New York, like, and that comes related to the music, I mean, to the punk movement, to the new wave and no wave scene there, and it just shocked me because I mean, back in the 80s here in Guatemala, we were on a civil war. I mean, 36 years of war. So that, of course, never, not even this close happened, or something like that happened here in Guatemala. So when I discovered that, I mean, I was like amazed and amazed by it, and I just wanted more. But yes, you can tell the love for Basquiat I have.
Jean Hess says, I would love to hear you comment on how you combine collage with paint, challenges, techniques, discoveries.
Oh yeah, yeah. That relate to what I was saying, that if the cut and paste thing wasn't enough. So when I remember I was looking for something else. That's when I get really deep into Robert Rauschenberg work. So that for me, that was a great way to start to just try to figure out, okay, how this guy did this. Okay, he was using like acrylics, he was using this kind of brushes, and think, okay, let's see what happened if I do this on this piece that I already, I mean, glue on the paper. For me, it was pretty much to let's try, and if I ruin it, okay, let's do another one. So that was my process, just by trying and discovering what actually work and what actually didn't work. But of course, doing a lot of research too. So trying and asking my friends here, who, I mean, they are painters, like painters, not mixed media artists. So taking some of their advice by, I remember asking them, how can I do this, or how can I make the paint like more thick or more like this. And when they told me everything about it, I just go and incorporate. And then I discover, okay, maybe in this case I need to use a paper more thick, or maybe it's not gonna be paper, it's gonna be wood, or it's gonna be a canvas. So it's, for me, it's always a experimentation, and that's the way I prefer to do it. To this day, that's the way I go. Every piece, every time is just that. But that's the thing I like. I mean, still, for me, it's fun to to make those discoveries. I always feel like I'm like a little child on my little studio, like always getting amazed by, wow, I never expected this, and think I'm gonna I'm gonna use this, because I think you don't have to forget that do art is having fun with it, even if your subject is serious. But the process for me should be fun. I mean, you should enjoy it, and that's how it works.
Okay, Sean asks, what is the significance of the black hands in several works?
Oh, if I mean, if I have to put a meaning of it, I don't have like a special meaning for it, but maybe it has to do with everything I saw, especially in Basquiat work, that I just love the way he depicts the the feet, the hands, the teeth, the nose, and everything. And I think I just love that. For me, it's like a reminder that I can do, I mean, a hand like that. I mean, even if I love how like an old master, like I don't know, like a Rembrandt or something, some guy like that paint the hands. I mean, they're beautiful. But for me, it's like every style has their own beauty. And for me to see that kind of drawings, especially in artwork, for me they are beautiful because they probably become like a metaphor or something. But in my case, I just love the aesthetic of it. I just, and I, now that you ask me that, I realize that I use it a lot. Maybe it's just because I love it, and when I'm doing this, maybe sometimes I just want to do 6 fingers or 7 fingers. I really don't care. I mean, I just let it go.
Okay, Melinda asked, can you speak a bit about the current art scene in Guatemala?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right now, by the time we are speaking, there's the Pais Biennale, which is a really a huge event here, but it's more focused on performance and contemporary art, and like installations and everything. And at the same time, it's going on to is another thing called Arte en Mayo, which is translated to Art in May, by some big foundation here. Actually, I have a couple of pieces they're exhibiting right now. It's not an art fair, but it's more like a huge collective show where all the main collectors go and see what is happening. The thing is that in Guatemala, it's always been a really interesting art scene. I mean, but it's more like kind of an underground thing. And since art here in Guatemala for the government and everything is not really important, you always have to find your own mediums, like to get your work to be known. I mean, in a way, it's a very punk thing, like do it yourself thing, because you have to find your own spaces to show and everything. And if you don't have it, you just created one. I think, I think it happened in every country, but in Guatemala, takes a little bit more time until someone finds you here and inviting you to present your work in the principal galleries here, is when something actually happened. But since I'm really involved in the art scene here in Guatemala, I'm always impressed in what is happening. I mean, and it doesn't look like, because you only hear from Guatemala because all the bad things that happen here, and I totally understand that. But in the other side, I mean, there's a lot of art going on here, and I'm really like proud to see a lot of my friends doing really amazing things, not only here but outside Guatemala, in whatever they do. I mean, from literature, from installation, from painting, and the sad thing is that you cannot find so much, especially let's say YouTube, because nobody's doing it here. Like there's few people like recording what is happening here. So I mean, I would love to be a zillionaire just to go and okay, let's record all these. I mean, because very important things are happening here, and it's interesting. And since Guatemala is a very complex country, I think what is happening in art here is really exciting. It is wild. I mean, we always joke that Guatemala is not a country for the faint-hearted because there is always kind of a edgy thing on the things that happen here, and you can see that reflected on art, and I love that. I really love that. I really don't want what the art, what is happening here, lose that, because if it lose that edginess, I'm sure it's going to be a boring thing to watch. So I hope it never happened, but I hope at the same time that more people gonna have the chance to see what's going on here.
Thanks. Before I go on to the next question, I wanted to mention, Alvaro, that I have been skipping the comments that just say how wonderful you are and the like.
Oh,
But I want you to know that
thank you, thank you, thank you.
this whole
That's
chat
really.
will be available for you so that
I'm
you can
really,
read all those good things.
I mean, I'm really grateful because I mean, I, I wish I could express it better, but thank you very much.
Okay.
I totally appreciate it.
The next question, may we have the link for your Warsaw exhibit?
Oh, sorry, what was again?
The link, so for
Oh,
the Warsaw exhibit.
yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know if they already upload upload the pictures, but I'm gonna post in the comments the
Great.
page of the gallery, so you can check it out. So let
Terrific.
me uh, little me. Okay, there you go. So okay, I have it. I got it. So that's the website of the gallery. That's oh yeah, they even had the the solo show poster on the homepage. So but
Wonderful.
that's a really interesting gallery. I love what they you can find some of let me find here in YouTube. They posted some videos, not of my solo show, but from other solo show, because this gallery, what I love is that they since let me see 3 years ago they organized the biggest collage exhibition in Europe. It's the International Collage Exhibition, something like that. And they what I love is that they really focus only on collage, and they invite a lot of people from outside. And Anna Kloss, the gallery's owner, she always from the beginning showed me like a lot of respect for my work, which I really appreciated, because she gave me the chance to put this show. I mean, like right now, I mean, we spoke of about the show like 2 years ago, and we were okay. Yeah, maybe I can go to Warsaw and be there, but we didn't knew what's what's coming for everybody, right? So we decided to just go with it, because if we wait, I mean, we don't know when this thing is going to be over. I mean, it's not going to be like over, but I said, okay, let's just do it. And because for me it's like a I don't know how I don't remember the expression right now, because for me it's gonna be a before and an after, because of this exhibition on my career, because it's been exposed to a lot of people especially in Warsaw, which is a very special country for me, because I made a lot of contacts there, and it's always been like open to to my work. So that's really cool for me.
Okay, you mentioned a website along the way. Someone asked, was that Domestika, D-O-M?
Oh yeah, Domestica. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I saw how they write it, and that's the correct way. The domestic
Okay,
with K. Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. I find the two links on YouTube. I'm gonna post it right here, so you guys can have an idea of the work they are doing, which they have my total respect for that. So okay, there that's the other link. So yeah, it would be interesting to see some of you guys, I mean, being exposed to there. That would be amazing. And they are really open to a lot of things. So that's always great, right?
Thank you. Lauren, what have I missed?
Nothing yet, nothing at all yet. I see a lot of just wonderful comments for you, Alvaro. So the question from Sean, you can find the Cobra art in Wikipedia. As far as I know, that the questions have been answered.
Oh, Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much. Sylvia, are you there? We probably can open up now for any general questions to put into chat for, let's see,
Or CAA or the members.
CAA or any of the members, or just all kinds of general questions that you might have.
Yes, I'm on the Zoom.
I'm not seeing anything. Alvaro, by the way, thank you so much for putting all those wonderful links up there.
No, my pleasure. And I post on the chat the website and my Instagram page, because you can find there a lot of work. It's already updated because I upload the last work just early today in the morning. But so you can follow the page, or just when you don't have really nothing to do, just go take a look.
Okay, shall we just,
Well, there are no more questions for any of from our members or guests for anything regarding CAA or I guess that concludes our meeting.
okay.
Everybody seems to be
Thank-
quiet. Thank you all for attending. I'm so happy with our speakers, Sierra and Alvaro. It was both wonderful. And thank you to Barbara and to Lauren and Carol, who has left, but thank you for putting this all together for us. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you,
to meet
Alvaro.
you all, guys. Thanks
Thank
again
you.
for having me. I really enjoyed to share the things that I do with you also. Take care and please be safe.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you stay safe.
What
Thank
I'm
you
gonna-
very much.
What
Bye
I'm
bye.
gonna do now.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank
You
you.
too. Thank you.
Hasta luego.
Thanks.
Thank you. Wow.